In this video, we're on beautiful Prince Edward Island. With full intentions of creating a fun guide to the island, we get off to a great start in Charlottetown. However, things quickly go downhill. This is not the video we intended on filming, but we always want to show you the true realities of travel life. So here we go. Welcome to PEI.
I'm on my way now.
In this video, we're going to be taking you around Prince Edward Island to show you the absolute beauty of the island and some of our favorite things, and knowing us, we might even get some food.
Yeah, and we are starting things off in the capital city of Charlottetown. I think in this video you can expect some expected things, some really touristy things, but maybe we'll get off the beaten track a little bit. I'd say we try to visit PEI like once a year, maybe once every 2 years if we get around to it. I always forget just how beautiful it is here, and right now we're in the waterfront area of Charlottetown. We don't come down here very often when we're in the city, which is funny. I don't know if they've developed it a lot over the last few years, but I have a feeling maybe a few years ago it wasn't quite what it is right now.
There's all these really colorful boats behind us here, and Anna just spotted some floating cottages.
I know, I wish we were staying there. There are floating cottages right there.
So it's gonna seem a little more crowded here in the city today because we have spotted a cruise ship. There's a massive ship here.
A really big cruise ship. So I'm gonna guess the city is a little bit busier than normal. It's not a big city, so I think bringing in a few thousand people at one time is probably gonna make it feel a little bit more congested than it normally would.
Yeah, and if you're planning to visit the city, just know, especially if you're driving here, it's tricky to find parking.
Yes, it took us a while. We did not prepare for that, so we're a little bit behind schedule today just because it took us, I don't know, a good half hour to find parking.
We're approaching the place here with all the food vendors. There's a lot of options down here.
There is. I actually looked this up beforehand to try to figure out where we were going to eat, and I didn't realize I saw these little kiosks, so maybe we'll head over there a little later and see if we can actually get a spot to eat. Maybe we'll have to go somewhere else.
I know.
It's pretty busy down here. Don't let the number of people here deceive you. We are in fact in Canada's smallest province, and I said before we are in the capital city of Charlottetown, which happens to be where Canada was founded. Canada became Canada here. Confederation happened here in 1867, so there's a lot of history here.
I find it interesting that one of the largest countries in the world, the smallest province was where it was formed.
It's true.
It took us so long to find parking today that we are absolutely starving, and we're walking by all these vendors here, so I think we're just gonna have to cut right to it, go get some food. So we ended up coming over to this floating market. This space is so cool here. It's very colorful. There's all these different stalls. There's even swings and sand, and the whole thing kind of bounces because it's floating. Look at this. We got some tacos. We ordered a couple different things. We got a beef one and we got a haddock taco. I'm so excited to eat right now. Look at this haddock taco. It's just overflowing with fish here. I cannot wait to eat it. Also on this is some cream of sauce, I believe some avocado, but let's just do it, huh? Oh, that is just a big old hunk of fish that slaps you across the face right away. This thing is loaded up with flavor. The tortilla itself is corn. I always like a corn tortilla. The sauce is perfect. You got the avocado crema, then just some kind of other cream of sauce. It's probably a little bit of a secret. It's covered in feta as well. This thing is golden. We got multiple things to try, and I don't know if any of them are gonna beat this guy. This is a solid taco.
So I went for a beef taco. Right away, I gotta say, I love that it's on a corn tortilla. I know Trevor mentioned that, but oftentimes people don't use corn tortillas, and I just find they're so much better when eating like a regular, somewhat traditional taco. This one also, I think, has some of the same toppings as Trevor did. It's got that cheese on it. He said it was feta. I think it's probably that, whatever that Mexican fresh cheese is called that I can never remember the name of. Crema, avocado, salsa, all the yummy things. The only thing I don't have right now is hot sauce, but I'll deal. Yeah, you really can't beat a beef taco. The beef itself really good, nicely seasoned. I love the corn tortilla. It just adds so much extra flavor, and all the other little toppings on it add it too. The only thing, like I said, that would add to this is to make it spicy, and then it would be absolutely perfect.
Well, here's the next thing we're gonna try. This is a pulled pork sandwich. Has some slaw on there as well. Bun feels like it's gonna be good. It's just overflowing in pork. They said it takes a little bit of time to make this, hopefully because, well, it's delicious. Here we go. This thing is delicious. The combo of that slaw with all that pork, oh my god, the pork, you guys, is just like a wall of flavor. Then the bread though, it's like soft and pillowy, bread, and I don't know if it's like brioche. It feels like it's almost stroked with like some butter on top of this. Oh my goodness, this is one of the better pulled pork sandwiches I ever had. I did not expect to find that in Charlottetown, so hopefully we gave you a little tip when you're in Charlottetown. Come to this floating market because it's a great spot. Well, we are back in the RV and we just realized we have not practiced our Spanish yet today.
So as many of you guys will know, we actually spend a good portion of the year in the Dominican Republic, and since making that decision, we have made a legitimate effort to practice Spanish every single day. We've recently added Lingopie into our Spanish learning mix, and it has been amazing.
We wanted to say a huge thanks to them for making it fun and enjoyable and for being a sponsor this week. Lingopie is essentially the Netflix of language learning, which means you get to learn a new language while exploring different cultures and enjoying TV shows and movies from around the world.
I love that they have so many great subtitle features, so I can put on English and Spanish at the same time so that I can see both of them, or to really challenge myself, I just put on the Spanish subtitles. They also have this great feature where you can click on a word that you aren't familiar with and it saves to your flashcards. Then later you can go back and practice and learn those words.
You can then test your newfound language skills with Lingopie's really fun interactive quizzes. There's also a built-in Say It feature, which really helps with one of our biggest challenges, pronunciation, by repeating phrases and getting instant feedback. Porque crees que te los puedo vender a ti?
You'll never run out of content to watch or get bored as Lingopie adds new TV shows and movies to the catalog regularly. There are currently 9 languages available to learn and over 3,000 shows and movies. Are you ready to start this fun learning journey with us? There's a link in the description below for a very special discount from Lingopie.
A huge thanks to Lingopie for sponsoring this videos and supporting creators like us. Well, this video just took a turn for the worse. The plan today was to come to PEI and go all across the island and show you guys all our top things to do. But now we're having car trouble, so this is going to be a little bit of a jarring video. We have not had any trouble with this car yet, but right now things aren't going so well and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and just to clarify, we have actually had this vehicle for a full year, because for some of you guys, obviously you just saw it in a recent video, you just found out about it, but we've had it a full year and it's been really good up until now. So we were driving with the RV and we noticed there was like a weird rattling sound that was happening. It could just be like a rock stuck somewhere, and hopefully that's all it is and not something like gonna fall off the car or something really, really serious. Also, when we were making our way here, which is, we're currently in Tignish, and you can probably see a house behind us. My family is actually here. They rent this cottage every year. This is the first time we've ever been able to join them, so we've been really excited about that, but we've been dealing with this car issue. So, coming here the other day with the RV, an oil light came on. So something about oil light or oil overheating? Literally never seen that before. No idea what's happening. And then that went off and our engine light came on. Maybe not a big deal. The engine light often comes on here. Last time it did, it was the gas cap. So hopefully it's all it is. Hopefully no major things are happening, but we got to get it checked out.
Yeah, the oil light has been the gas cap for sure, but there's another thing happening in the back. There's some rattling. So right now we're like an hour from the closest major town, I would say, like Summerside. So we're trying to figure out what to do. We're kind of stuck out here in the middle of Tignish. So we'll try to illustrate here what's going on with the vehicle. Maybe some of you watching will know. Maybe we can find a mechanic or something today, but I don't know. We're pretty rural in Prince Edward Island right now. Well, you guys will see here the engine light is on. That red oil light's not on any longer. Nothing to me looks out of place, but down here there's like lots of oil, or maybe it's just grease, but I'm no mechanic, clearly. But things look okay, but I don't know if this is all new, this kind of oil splatter that's everywhere. So that's the weird thing about this, but when we were driving it, everything seems to be running smoothly with the car, but there's another problem too. I don't know if you guys can hear that rattling. So that's what I'm kind of more concerned about. I wasn't doing that when we left Nova Scotia at all. Now it is. So we're gonna leave here, drive this without the trailer, go into town and see if we can find a mechanic or something, but this is pretty rural. So we're gonna have to risk it, otherwise we can't just stay here forever, can we? But I have a Toyota FJ Cruiser, towing a 18-foot trailer. Of course I got all the way over here and then I had some problems. I was supposed to leave tomorrow. So I was wondering, what I'm hoping for is someone can either look at it and say, you're good to drive back, or your wheels are going to fall off and you're going to get stuck on the bridge.
Your rattle, I'll show you what your rattle is first. There was a piece of heat shield up there.
Yeah.
But I tossed it in that bin. See that
Okay.
piece of tin?
Yeah.
and at 4 sides there was only one side holding it up, so it was rattling against this. But this is also broke right here.
Okay, what is that? Just looks like
That's your exhaust.
Okay.
So whenever you hit a good enough bump, that's doing that.
I gotcha.
So that's not serious. That could make the light come on for evap or anything like that. But
Yep.
the something back here I'll show you. There's no true sensor right here, and it was hanging down and rubbing against the front drive shaft.
Yep.
So it wore the wires bare right here. So
Okay.
I just put it up there with a twist tie so it doesn't rub against here anymore when that's twirling.
Okay.
So it's O2 sensor code, not serious either.
Well, that was a bit of good news.
Yeah, we were expecting the worst, you know, hoping for the best, but it's pretty good. Just some things rattling. What was it? The muffler? The muffler exhaust. The
Heat
exhaust was
shields,
just- yeah.
exhaust is broken.
But he said nothing serious. We can drive with it, so that's the best news.
That is the best news, but I don't think this is going to be the video we thought we were going to make either way.
No, I know. It's kind of interrupted our time here in PEI and made us a little scared to drive around, but it's good knowing, even though we leave, I think in the next day or two, at least we can maybe do a couple of things. Believe it or not, they only charged us $20 for that. I feel like they looked at it for at least a half an hour, if not longer. So, as Trevor said, how is that for like nice Canadian hospitality? I can't get over how kind they were, how nice, how helpful they were, and the news wasn't too bad. So all good.
Now
really.
now we know what's going on, so that's the big thing.
So if you guys are ever in a bind in this area, the western part of PEI, go to these guys. It was Harper's Automotive.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, now we're on to a new mission here. We're walking over, well, we drove over. Now we're at the library, but it's actually closed. The reason we're here is we need to upload one of our videos.
Yeah, we have this issue where down where we're staying, it's outside of town. There's also almost no cell phone signal, and the Wi-Fi is terrible. So we have to upload these videos. We actually came here a couple of days ago. The library was open. We got a code to use the Wi-Fi. They have crazy fast Wi-Fi. So there's a little, like, if you're ever searching for some really great Wi-Fi, try a local library. They usually have the fastest. But anyway, it's closed, so we're gonna try to stand outside and upload a video.
Nothing weird about this at all.
Not at all.
We got some pretty decent speeds here. We're kind of far from the modem, I think. It was way faster the other day, but it's really all about that upload speed. All right, just hanging out by the wall here at a closed library, getting our video uploaded. The things you do when you're a YouTuber. Things you do when you're a YouTuber. If you make videos, you know. Well, we thought we would show you guys some of these beautiful empty red sand beaches in PEI here. At least we're getting to do that today. It's been a crazy video, but we wanted to show you guys the reality of, like, well, what we're going through. We came over here to film an entirely different video about kind of some of the top things to do in PEI, and we're all thrown off, but now we got an empty beach to ourselves.
So obviously all beaches on PEI are not like this. If you head to the really touristy areas like Cavendish and Brackley, I bet you on a day like today, the beaches are just packed with people. Cavendish is obviously one of the most popular places, if not the most popular place in all of PEI, for a good reason. It's absolutely beautiful there. We've come over to Tignish, which we already said. It's basically on like the northwest side, so it's way less touristy over here. If you're looking to get a little bit off the beaten path of PEI, this is a great place to come, and you literally have beaches to yourself. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, there's almost no one here. There's a group of people way up the beach.
Yeah.
And then if I go this way, nobody that way either.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild.
It's crazy.
We'll try out the water here. It's supposed to be some of the warmer water in this part of the world. It's not so bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So for a little bit of background for people, we actually spend a good portion of the year in the Dominican Republic, and typically there the water is extremely warm and bath water like. So when we come here, I'm not going to say like it feels super duper warm, but if you hadn't just spent a lot of time in a Caribbean place, you would probably say this is exceptionally warm water.
I'm sure a lot of you have left comments already saying, I told you you guys were gonna break down, or the RV wasn't gonna make it, or the FJ. We know that. This is a good test run for us. We wanted to take it on, like, we're now about a 6-hour drive from our original location, and we're hitting some, you know, speed bumps, but it's not so bad.
Yeah, and the whole point of doing this was, like you said, to do a test run, to not go across Canada or like down to the US, just to see A, if we can do it, and also two, to get any of the problems out of the way. And hopefully we're doing that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be worth it. You know, so far this was the one roadblock we hit, but already we stopped at so many great places. It's been worth it. So we know on longer road trips, this will continue. The challenge is going to be, you know, sometimes you book a site in advance, say a campsite, and then you have problems.
Yeah.
You have to extend, leave your camper, put the car in the shop. That's going to be a challenge going forward, but this is a challenge for everybody who does this RV
and
life
that's,
thing.
of course, just going to be part of the journey, and we have to accept
Yeah.
that stuff's going to happen if we want to have a life like this.
We're really curious what you guys thought of the video today here, because again, our plan was to come over and show some of the highlights of PEI, and then we had trouble, so we flipped the video into that. And we just want to know if you guys like the reality of that. Like, this is happening in real life. We thought we'd switch to it and still show some of the province. Heck, we got to show Charlottetown, got to show the beach here, and got to show you what we're going through, huh?
Yeah, but just to clarify, it's not like we could have done the other video because we kind of got stuck where we are for the last 2 days without wanting to take the vehicle too far. It was on a weekend, so just the way things worked out.
We
couldn't drive around, but I had this whole list of things that we were going to
big
do.
list.
Oh,
We were
well.
going to Cavendish and Summerside and all this stuff. Oh well, we'll come back. That's okay, but let us know what you guys thought today. And you might be wondering why we didn't show the accommodation, like where we're staying with her family. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, they rent this cottage every year, so I don't want to have people go and book it out from under them. So that's hopefully everyone's okay with that we didn't do an accommodation tour like we normally do. That's fine.
If somehow you're watching this video and you haven't been to PEI and it's the first video you've saw about the province, we highly recommend you visit this place. It's so charming. There's not another province like it
Not at
in
all.
Canada. It's so different and so unique, and it's a blast. The people are incredibly nice, as you can tell by the mechanics. That's for sure. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. We will see you in next week's video. Make sure to hit the like button, heck, share the video, leave a comment, let us know what you thought today. We're really excited for what's next.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Tignish, I guess, in PEI, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.